in the bloopers, aren't you?
Probably.
Hey folks, welcome to the farm.
Start that over again. I wasn't recording. Yep.
Hey folks, welcome to the farm. It is July 5th. I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Patrick, say hello.
Hi.
Hi. Man, it is muggy. My screen's fogging up.
All right, this is the first time we've done this. We are
Turn that down that way it doesn't echo.
absolute amateurs.
Let me know.
See, he's implanting your opinion in your head so that you have to. That's how brainwashing works. You're not asking for an opinion. You're asking them to agree with you. Absolute meatloaf goodness right there.
The crazy thing to me is watch her cut this open.
Let's cut into this.
Oh.
Let's cut it open.
This is what I grew up with, is these two imbeciles.
I'm at the Niagara Falls border crossing, and I can't get these goats and chickens off the trailer and into the canoe to get across the river.
Oh.
Howdy! Welcome,
Hey.
folks.
How are y'all?
My goodness, you guys are killing it tonight. 12 people in here before we even got started. So
I got 43 comments.
That is
43
awesome,
comments in the
awesome.
chat.
So Crazed Family Homestead, they're drawing the people in tonight. So Amy, you're pretty popular out there in YouTube land. We're gonna be bringing. She beat us in here into the studio tonight. So she is she's in the wings awaiting. We're gonna bring her on about 10 to 15 minutes. So we got a bunch of folks in here tonight. So I think like I said 12 folks. We got several of our moderators in here. I'm going to catch up on greetings when we get kind of rolling into this, and our moderators are going to be working hard to try to get links shared out for folks as they're going through this. So let's go ahead and get rolling on this. So as you know, we start off with shout outs. We got several folks I want to shout out from last week. They provided to us some super chats and super stickers last week. First was Roland at Getting It Done North of 7, gave us a $10 super chat last week. We really appreciate that. That goes to kind of, continuing to support the community, mainly for the giveaways that we're doing is where we kind of put that money back into. So if you hadn't caught last Friday, I think it was, Roland's, he did his first live on Getting It Done North of 7 last Friday. Was really good. I attended most of it, couldn't get in right at the beginning. But he had a couple of guests on there talking about SEO, search engine optimization, and it was really good. So if you missed that, go back and check it out. The guests are instructors that offer a video on search engine optimization. Really quick to go through it, and I think it'd be a good investment. So check that out.
We actually got that, didn't we?
I actually went in and it's kind of like when I do professional work, I've got to do continuing education all the time. And, a lot of the stuff I've heard before, I've kind of learned in other settings or in practice, but there's always that little golden nugget that I pull out of all of that training that generally is worth its weight in gold and certainly worth the money that you would pay for that training. And I found that that's exactly the case in this. So we're going to try the method that they're teaching in that class for the next 3 months and compare it to what we've been able to do over the last, really since May of this year is when we really got serious about SEO and really video production and all of that is when we really started pushing the channel organically. Another super chat we got last week from Norseman Honey. It's another Canadian.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
This is his, I don't know if you know this. This is his third week in a row.
What?
For Norseman Honey. This is his third week in a row knocking down our door with a super chat. Third week in a row in a live stream. That's awesome. We do really, 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 really appreciate it.
So, you know, contrary to what you're going to see in the description, that is not going out per Tony Walsh is trying to spread an evil rumor that I pay commissions for people to wear my shirts. No, Tony Walsh. He's starting that evil rumor. You know, that's what we do with these super chats. They go out. That's how we do the giveaways, so that's not coming out of pocket. So we really, really appreciate that. So Norseman Honey is essentially a beekeeping channel up in Canada. Check them out. Next was Ridge Life. Tim at Ridge Life did a super sticker last week. Gave us a thumbs up. We had a couple of mail calls, or one mail call this week from Simply Jan's Homestead. Simply Jan is one of our moderators. So she had gotten a shirt and did a mail call this week showing that package being opened up. But if I would encourage you to go over there and check that mail call. It's kind of funny. Jan has the shirt on, and then she turns around just before going off video and before leaving for Tractor Supply to show off her La La Farm shirt. She does a chicken butt dance. It's kind of cute. Check it out. And then really, this was kind of a great surprise. So last Friday, I'm getting ready to come home from work. I'm sitting in my little waiting room or right at my office, and my phone rings. And it's a name that I know. We've communicated for a couple of years now, even before we started the YouTube channel on Facebook. This gentleman, Michael Harris, you've heard us talk about him on our live in the past. Michael's been
a lot of the channels that are on here. Also know who Michael Harris is because he's subscribed to a lot of them.
Yeah, Michael Harris is probably one of the first few subscribers that came onto our channel. He kind of followed us over when we started the YouTube channel from our Facebook groups that we belong to, because he is a member at that time, was an aspiring member of the Kiko goat community. And so on Friday, I get a call. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon from Michael Harris. And he's told me for a couple of years that when I get to Northeast Florida, I'm going to look you up and we're going to come over and take a tour. Well, we did that. So he's a driver, what's called a hot shot driver. And Michael was able to get a load to Northeast Florida last week. And he spent the weekend in Jacksonville, or I'm sorry, in McClenny. And we spent all of Sunday with Michael kind of touring the farm and giving him some hands-on work with our goats. And we just had an absolute blast. Number one, we got to finally put a face to a name. And it was just a really great time. Michael had a great time, answered some of the questions that he's had that we've communicated with, things like goat fencing and things like that. Just had we had a blast. It was fun. One of the most important things, though, coming out of Michael's visit was on Sunday afternoon, I made another brisket. Now, you've seen brisket recipes on the channel. I've done them in the past, but I changed it up a little bit on this one. Tried something a little bit differently to see how moist I could get this brisket. It was amazing. I figured out the mystery of the universe when it comes to getting a moist brisket. And when I wrapped it, I put in there a little bit of beef bouillon, about a cup of beef bouillon, and then wrapped it up in aluminum foil, double wrapped it, and then finished it off for the last 3 hours of the cook. You didn't need a knife. You cut this literally. You could cut it with a spoon. It was that tender.
All you had to do is poke it. Poke it, and it started.
It was amazing. It was the best brisket I ever made in my life. It was phenomenal. I made a lot of briskets. So next, shout out to our moderators. We got in here tonight moderating for us. We got Simply Jan Homestead. Jan, appreciate it. Thank you much. We have got Walsh Farms. Tony Walsh is in here. So Tony's driving, so he can't do the moderating. No, he's just going to come in here and cause and cause trouble and start rumors about me paying royalty checks.
I don't know if Willett Grows in here, but I'm sure he'll start something up too.
All right. Who else? We got Highland Homestead. So Eva's in here. Welcome, Eva. Thank you so much for your help. And we got Paula Wells in here. So those are the 4 moderators, it looks like, for the night. We may have some more coming in. So I wanted to do shout outs. If you don't know those 4 channels, go over there and check them out.
Definitely.
All 4 of them are have great content, and highly encourage it.
Who else do we have in the chat? We got Boonchild, Roland's in here getting it done north of 7. Tasha maybe Crazy Homestead, she's in here again. She was in here last week. Arkansas Woodcutter, that would be John from Willett Grove's best friend.
Hey Mark, how are you, buddy?
Tina Ladybug. Let's see who else. Keep scrolling.
Oh, I got Petway in here too. They're here
There you
for.
go.
So I didn't see them. You're down there, James, a little bit. So I got Petway Family Farmstead in here as moderator as well.
Yeah, I had to Lori's World, and apparently yes, John is in here to spread hate and discontent.
Not hate and discontent. It's more like just discontent.
Discontent. There you go. Nunya, Texas on the back 20. Keto Homestead with Jess, and Michael is in here. Yeah.
Michael Harris in here. All right, man. So,
hey, what's on your hat, Dad?
Well, I haven't gotten to that yet. So thank you all. So we got 23 in here tonight. That is fantastic. So as you know, I like to wear my different military hats. So this is another one. This is the USS Stark. The USS Stark is the same class of ship that I served on when I was in the Navy. It's an Oliver Hazard Perry guided missile frigate. And the significance of this ship is that a couple of frigates are in our history. This one and the USS Roberts, both have been struck by enemy munitions. This one was struck while on patrol in the evening on May 17th, 1987. It was struck by 2 Iraqi missiles. As a result, 37 sailors were killed on the USS Stark. One of them was my best friend, IC3 Jim Dunlap. So this is my commemorative hat for Jim. And maybe on a future video, maybe around Memorial Day, I may do kind of another tribute to Jim. But we went through a lot of our earlier training was together, and Jim was one of my best friends, and he was killed in that attack on the USS Stark. So, I like doing these kind of memories because it's one of those things that there's a lot of military members that serve around the world, and they're in little conflicts here and there, and it costs them their lives. And then they're kind of forgotten. They come back to the United States, they're remembered by their families, and there's where it stops. And then their memory just kind of fades into a distant memory, not only for the country, but individuals. And I kind of refuse to let that happen, in particular with this one event. Several years ago, I was able to go up and visit Jim's grave up in Osceola Mills, Pennsylvania, which is Western Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. Beautiful country where he is buried. So I was able to visit with him a few years back, about 3-4 years ago. So moving on, always remember those troops serving around the world and the sacrifices that they make. So everyone is here not to listen to me ramble on or Little Rick to ramble on, but apparently Amy from Crazed Family Homestead is a rock star because she has pulled in 24 people into this live tonight. So without further ado, let's bring in Amy from Crazed Family Homestead. Hey, there she is.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Well, welcome. Put Amy up, not me. You don't want to see my big mug. There you go. So, well, welcome. So where's the crew?
I have them in the wings.
I saw a little one in the camera. I was trying to wave to her.
You know, it doesn't take long to watch Amy's videos to see children popping in and out of those videos. And
I
that's
tried proofing my house, but they keep getting in, so I'm not sure what I'm doing.
child proofing to keep them out. And that's the other thing, that she's just got a great sense of humor. So, you know, so you posted your first video around about, it looks like June 19th of 18. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it was on how to start a fall veggie garden. Since then, you've posted 80 videos, but interestingly, 67 of those 80 videos have been posted in the last 7 months. So in 2020, you've been really, really busy.
Correct. And some of my videos I took down that were, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling them. And so I did take them down. So I took about 5 or 6 from 2018 down. And then I left some of the other ones from 2018.
What kind of made you re-engage more? Because it looks like you've done a lot of work in 2020, particularly the last 7 months. You've been pretty busy.
Yeah. So I started the channel in 2018 because of Emma. Emma wanted to, she's my 7-year-old. She wanted to, yeah.
Is that Emma there?
Hey,
hi, Emma.
She said hi. Say hi.
Hey.
She wanted to start a YouTube channel on how to garden. And so we started that fall vegetable garden. And things happen, and my job changed a couple of times, and it just got really hectic. They're saying hi to you. It got really hectic to keep up with the channel, and so I let it go until spring. And you know, we know everything that happened in the spring. I decided, let's start it back up again and see what happens. So here we are.
Well, you know, you've got some followers. I don't recall when I become aware of your channel, but I started, you know, the thing that I enjoy most is that you come across as very, very genuine, very real. There's not a whole lot of, like right now is a perfect example. It's like, there's not a whole lot edited out. I mean, you get to see your whole family, and it's just a really cool thing. You know, I love that. There they all are, working their way in. So what's the age differences there? They look pretty close together.
These guys are about 2 years apart in age.
Wow.
And then my first set of 4 children, there's 13 years from the baby of the first set and Emma.
Wow. You just got bored? You felt you needed some more?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Well, I kind of got an idea. We're not going there. So where are you located at?
We're almost central Oklahoma.
Okay.
But look, they're all saying hi to you. Do you see this? They're all saying hi to you.
Hi.
So we asked your mom to come on here, and she said she would, but we had to have all the kids in here too. So
yeah,
that's
that
awesome.
was. Well, here's 3 of them.
So I was looking at your description on your channel, and it says you're a big family living on a small city lot. So when you're doing your gardening, how big of an area, how big of a space are you talking about?
My lot. Okay, go sit with Daddy. My lot is right around a half an acre. So, and then we have a small house on that. We don't have a huge house, just, so I'm not really sure the square foot of my garden. That was something that I want to try to figure out this year. So that way I know exactly how much I'm growing in my square footage.
Well, I can tell it's really, really productive, and you got an awesome greenhouse. You know, I've seen a lot of the videos that you do are in the greenhouse. So this is, again, from your description, it says currently live in Central Oklahoma with 5 of our 7 children. We homeschool, preserve food, garden, and just have a good time enjoying each other. And that comes across loud and clear in all of your videos, is that you have a blast with your kids. And, you know, that's one of the things I like about your channel is it comes across as very authentic. There's not a whole lot of editing the bloopers out. It's like just now when your daughter comes up and she's giving you food while you're doing this interview, and you know, a lot of people would kind of get flustered with that, and you just don't. You seem to handle it with grace.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think of them, they're kids, and they're gonna do quirky kid things, and I don't know. I just try to roll with it.
What's this one here?
Don't touch
So
her.
then the last sentence in your description is we will share food recipes as well as natural remedies. So are you talking like herbs and that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's something that I have also a passion for, and something I really have not done. See, look, did you see him? He's right there. That's Rick. He's waving at you. All right. Okay, that's enough.
Hey, everybody. Hey, girls, on 3. Everybody say, "Yay, mama! Yay, mama!"
So yeah, herbs is something I want to get into. It's definitely not something that I have shared a whole lot on my channel at this point. So it's just one of those. It's one of those sticky. You got to be careful with what you share, what you say, and I don't like to censor a whole lot. So I try not to go to those topics and those subjects where you have to censor.
Well, I like, that's one thing that, another channel, Joyce at Morris Patch of Heaven Homestead, she does a lot of the natural herbal remedies. And I love their channel for that because it's content that you don't really see other places. So I'd love to see you put out more of that information. That's pretty cool. So it looks like from looking at your videos that you primarily do chickens, gardening, and cooking.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, that pretty much does it.
How many chickens you got?
We have 7.
Okay.
We have 1 for each member of our family.
Are they laying right now, or are they freeloading?
About half of them are laying, so we get 3 to 4 eggs every day.
Yeah.
Wow, you're doing awesome then.
Yeah, but we just added these hens this last spring, so
okay. So they're not quite a year old though. Okay.
No. I'm sure next year we won't get as many eggs as we are.
Mine's start.
Paula Wells is asking, do you guys preserve any of your food from your garden?
Yes. We preserve. We eat a lot of it fresh, and then we preserve everything that we're not eating fresh. So yeah, I put up quite a bit this year. I don't really show a whole lot of that right now, and it's something that I want to show more in the future. But
What are you canning, freezing, or dehydrating? How exactly do you do it?
I do a lot of canning, and then I've been doing a lot of freeze drying, and
Really? How do you freeze dry?
I have a freeze dryer, a Harvest Right freeze dryer.
Really? That's something I'm pretty interested in. I mean, I was watching one of the channels, and they do a lot of it was Page Family Homestead, and she does a lot of dehydrating and that kind of stuff. And I was really, really intrigued by that. And you know, so that's my goal for 2021 is to get me a dehydrator. But I've also seen some videos where they're doing freeze drying. That's also piqued my interest as well. Because I mean, I don't know how many of the videos that we've done that you've watched, but I'm very kind of scientifically minded. I want to see the proof in the pudding. And so I read an article that was fascinating on the different how preserving maintains different levels of nutritional value based upon how it's processed. And freeze drying and dehydrating were the highest of the methods, followed by freezing, and then lastly by canning things. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. So that was something that we want to, you know, Market Arkansas Woodcutter says she has an awesome taco sauce canning video. And Mark, it's funny that you say that, because one of the questions that I have was unique recipes. And the very first line that I wrote down in my notes was canning of taco sauce. And I'm like, that is absolutely ingenious.
That was Allison and I can't even remember the taco sauce, the canning the taco sauce. Was it you that showed me that? Okay, so my husband came to me one day and he was like, you and Allison need to do this. And he showed me his phone and there was a meme and it was canning taco sauce. And they were using they were using those taco packets, and I was like, yeah, we could totally.
I've seen that before. It's cute.
And so that's where that came from. Was my husband was like, this would be hilarious if you and Allison did this. So
yeah, I saw a video that was doing that. They basically had like a canning jar and then the funnel, and they were just putting those packets down into the jar. Yeah,
Mommy,
you guys are really experiencing the fullness of all of this.
Mommy,
It reminds me a lot. It reminds me a lot of my kids, especially Madeline and Patrick. If you guys have seen any of our videos, you know that Patrick is all for getting on there and saying, hey folks, hey folks, hey folks.
Yeah. I was in the living room sending them to bed one night, and I was in the living room and I could hear Emma and Eden in the bedroom, and they were like, hey, welcome back to our channel, guys. How are you? So, practicing, I guess. I don't know.
we were practicing for future.
Few months ago, there was a challenge. There was a challenge going around called the Vegemite Challenge. Some of you probably recall that Vegemite Challenge. I think it was Down Under Farm and Forge or Silhouette Park, one of the other. I don't recall. I think it was Darren that did it, and then Homestead Aquarius. That's who did it.
Aquarius.
They were participating. So Robert at Homestead Aquarius did this hashtag Vegemite Challenge, and I participated in it. But here's what I did. So I was watching the Australians downing this Vegemite, and I'm like, well, gosh, they're eating it like it's nothing. It can't be that bad. And so I ordered some Vegemite Challenge on Amazon, and it came. And the first thing I had to do was take out a spoon, and I just dug down in it and took a big thing and shoved it in my mouth, and I thought I was going to throw up. It is really, really salty. Kind of tastes like a really intense beef bouillon kind of stuff. And so I realized right then I'm not going to do anything that directly makes use of Vegemite. So I made some chicken wings. Amy and her family put Vegemite on what I believe to be were gummy bears.
Yes.
So they upped my game.
Oh, that was.
Come on, you said it wasn't so bad in your video.
It really wasn't that bad. Okay, so I think what had happened was. Hey, Allison, will you help me watch them? Why don't you guys go turn a movie on in the other room?
Well, here, I got some questions before they go.
Okay, hang on. Wait a second. Wait.
And then you guys can go watch a movie.
Listen.
All right.
Do you see that guy
All right.
right there?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
All right. So, what is your favorite part of the homestead?
What's your favorite part of everything we do around here? You don't know?
Is it the chickens? Is it the garden? Because I see you in a lot of garden videos.
You like planting things?
I like planting things.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you like eating those things too?
Yeah.
I love eating. So, me and you have that in common.
All of my girls love food, so
There you go.
definitely.
That was a big smile when you said they love food.
Yeah. What he said.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite part of the homestead?
Mine.
No, hers.
Oh,
What's
hers.
her name?
This is Macy.
Okay. Hey, Macy.
Hi.
There we go. Now we got a wide angle.
Is that better?
So what's everybody's favorite part of the homestead?
What's your favorite thing here that we do?
Making videos.
Making videos.
Honestly, making videos and helping the children.
Chickens.
Do you guys like Brussels sprouts?
Do you like Brussels sprouts?
Yeah.
Do you like?
Really?
Brussels sprouts.
No, Ethan does not like Brussels sprouts, and neither does Macy.
I like making them.
Everybody says that beans are the magical fruit. Brussels sprouts are the magical fruit.
I say
True.
the same thing. We'll
Have you guys named your chickens?
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell them what their names are?
One's Dixie, Cola, and one's Zebra. Yeah, Dixie, Cola, Zebra. I don't know about that.
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow, S'mores, and Zebra. And Zebra. There's Zebra too. Hot chocolate. Santa. Santa.
I want to know why did you name your chicken Marshmallow?
Because kind of looked like a roasted marshmallow.
Roasted marshmallow.
That's a good. That's a great reason.
Now,
All
don't
right. Well,
count how many names we have for the chickens.
right. You only have 7 chickens, but you have like 14 names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zebra too.
Yep, and zebra.
Well, you guys enjoy your movie.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
Good
bye.
talking to you,
guys.
girls.
Bye.
Bye
Hurry.
bye.
Okay, I'm done my movie. Bye.
All right, take a deep breath. Oh, I know it sounds cliche, but I mean, you've got grown kids. I mean, everybody told me when my kids were very, very young, I've only got 2, but they said enjoy them because they grow up so fast. And I'm like, what in the world does that even mean? I mean, they're going to be around for 18 years. Well,
Okay.
Sooner than you know it, they're like 18 and they're like going out and it's like doing their thing. And you realize, we're not having dinner together anymore every night. So enjoy. I can tell that you enjoy your kids, and that comes loud and clear through all of your videos, Amy.
Good, because that is definitely something that I want to come through. I want those things to be seen.
Well, you got a wonderful family. So there was another recipe that I'll be honest with you. So I grew up in a family where my mother was from Virginia. So a lot of what she cooked is what we grew. And a lot of what we ate was greens of one kind or another. And it got kind of weird because so my mother would buy dandelion seed and have us go out into our front yard every spring and throw dandelion seeds while all of our neighbors are trying to kill dandelions in their beautifully manicured lawns. And we're trying to grow dandelions for what you ask. If you've ever had dandelion greens, you will understand why my mother was having us plant dandelions. So we would go out as soon as the yellow of the flower popped up off the dandelion, we'd go out there and we'd start plucking greens off of the dandelions, and we would have them for dinner. So where am I going with this, you ask? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Nope.
You've got a video of a pumpkin leaf stir fry. I've never heard of that. Is that something you just said, hey, woke up one day and said, I think I'm going to cook me up some pumpkin leaves?
You know, I had a friend tell me she lived in Zimbabwe as her parents were missionaries, and she grew up there. And she said that they would plant this huge garden every year, and the locals there would come and ask them if they could eat their pumpkin leaves. They noticed they were not eating their pumpkin leaves. And I said, wait, pumpkin leaves are edible? And she said, oh, yes. They would actually teach us how they would make them, and we would eat pumpkin leaves with our meals after that. So,
well, you did them in a stir fry. Are there other ways that you can use them?
Yes. Yeah, actually, one of the ways that she had talked about using them were, it sounded a lot like you roll it up like a burrito,
right,
and steam it
like a grape leaf.
Yeah.
Have you ever had grape leaves, like a Mediterranean restaurant? You know, they're very good. They'll take a grape leaf, they will steam it, and then you put generally it's got a mixture of lamb or beef and rice and some spices in it, and they will roll it up in the leaf. They steam it, and then they roll it up, and then they steam it again in a basket, and they're just really, really good. So I would imagine, I bet that would be good, because grape leaves are really big, and pumpkin leaves are very big as well. I bet that would be good. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. So I was thinking, watching that, it's like, wow, she's like a culinary ninja, coming up with this new stuff. So that looked really, really good. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my earbuds back in here.
Okay.
I can hear you better. I'm going deaf. I'm getting old and I'm going deaf. Can't imagine why.
Well,
you can't be nearly as old as my dad. He's like in his 80s. So you're not.
Who's that?
My dad, Papa.
No.
Oh.
Papa. He turns 81 in January.
I don't believe it.
Don't believe nothing he says.
I don't believe it.
So, I just want to say, Arkansas Woodcutter, I did not know what on earth he was talking about, because he posted this right here. But then I scrolled down. I know it was weird, and then I scrolled
He's
down.
He's probably
and...
voice texting again.
No.
No.
She's a Sooner fan.
I am. Representing.
There you go. Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about at first.
I guess he won't be picking me for the woodcutter team next year, will he?
No. So what's the deal with the wheel in the back? I gotta ask.
Oh, the wheel in the back. Well, each family member has a name on there, and we spin the wheel to see who gets to open their Christmas presents first.
Oh, that's cool.
We have always, for as long as I can remember, when we are doing our Christmas, the way we do it is someone is issued the morning of, or we actually open our Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, but someone is issued the job of Santa. And Santa is 95% of the time my mom. And she has color coordinated and put numbers on all of the wrappers. And so you have like, say you have dog wrapping paper, and all those dog wrapping papers belong to one person, but no one knows who they belong to except for my mom.
She's got the master list.
Oh, that's clever.
But the best one that she has is she just doesn't put a name. Certain years she would wrap the presents, and instead of putting any name on it, she just puts a number. And then she writes that number on a notebook piece of paper. So she's the only one who knows the number that each person, the gift, what each person's going by number. So if you pull out number 5, she'd look on her list. The number 5 goes to my daughter, and that kind of thing. You know, that used to drive them bonkers because they didn't know who was getting what. And it was pretty funny.
I would lose the list.
Petway wants to know if his name is on the wheel, or if their name
your
is on
name,
the wheel.
Okay, mom and dad is on the wheel. So if you're a mom or a dad, you're on there.
Right.
But you have to share one with the dad. I have to share it with dad.
Well, I think James Petway is trying to finagle his way onto the wheel, though. I think that's what he's getting at. James wants some presents.
I mean, if you, I can't say what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm censoring. I have little cord ears everywhere.
That's a great idea, though. That's really cool. Each time you open a present, you spin the wheel.
Yeah, that was Allison's
idea.
That was Allison's idea. We're implementing that this year. We used to draw numbers, and then whoever got number 1 got to open first, and number 2 got to open second. But this year, she was like, "I found this up in the attic. Can I use this for Christmas? I'm going to put everybody's names on here." And I said, "Sure."
What did you use it for before? Like Wheel of Fortune?
I think it was a harvest game for church.
Oh, okay.
It was for a church event or something. My husband had made it years ago. I don't really remember what it was used for originally.
Well, that's cool.
We never throw anything away, so.
See, that's very, very cool. So, are you all done with your shopping? You ready for Christmas?
Almost.
Almost.
I have like two more things that I need to get.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Amy, if you were to describe your channel in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
You know this question was coming too.
Crazy.
Well, you can't say Crazy Family Homestead.
No, because my name is Crazed, which means something completely different than, loco.
Okay.
Wild. So I won't use crazy, but I will use wild. 3 words to describe my channel. Energetic.
I agree with that.
I would agree with that one.
Oh, geez.
I was watching a live with you on informative. I would agree with all those. Those are great words. So I was watching a live for you. It's probably a month and a half or so ago, and you're out in your greenhouse, and you were locking your kids. Like, I like this lady's approach.
That was the day I discovered I had a lock on my greenhouse door. And that was the day she was screaming out. I was like, maybe I didn't think this through.
Yeah, I kind of listen. I leave a lot of comments on Wednesdays because that's the day that Lala works from home. So it's just me at the office, so I can kind of turn my speakers on and listen to folks, and I'm listening to that live stream, and you say that, and I literally just almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, I like this woman's approach to parenting. So that was awesome.
If you ask my older children, apparently I locked them out of the house. I may have. I really don't remember. That was a long time ago.
I don't remember locking them out of the house, but I can tell you with little Rick, I told him, I'm a very consequences driven person. So if I tell you something, and I expect it, mainly referring to my kids, if I tell them something, I expected it to be done without any follow-up. And if there wasn't, they knew that there was going to be consequences. So I told little Rick to do something one time and he did not do it. Well, I waited for him to come home, and he is not very mechanically, or at least back then, he was not very mechanically inclined. So I went out and, he got home. This was at nighttime. I took flashlight out to his truck, opened up the door, opened up the fuse box, and took out the master fuse. And I just brought it back in and I put it in a hidden place. And he goes out the next morning to get ready to go to school, and his truck won't start. Man, he was mad as a wet rooster. He come in the house. He said, "What'd you do to my truck?"
Let me tell you.
Yeah. So what? Well, I didn't even tell him. I said, "What? You didn't do what I expected to get done." So it got done, and he got his fuse back. I never had that problem with him again. So it worked out well.
It goes that way.
So,
it usually only takes once.
Yeah,
they learn.
He was good at learning those skills. Where my daughter, she took a little bit more work. Well, if you guys have not been over and checked out Crazed Family Homestead, go over there and check Amy's channel out. I don't think you will be disappointed. They've got a lot going on, and her videos are not only informative, but they're pretty entertaining as well, because there's not a whole lot of censoring. There's a lot of what you see is what you get, and you can see kind of the joy and the fun that her family has in their family and operating this YouTube channel. So go over and check Amy's channel out. Show her some love. Give her a thumbs up. Hit that sub button if you like the content. Again, this section is reserved for channels under 1,000, and so we want to kind of be contributing to helping them hit that 1,000 sub mark. So if you are not familiar with Crazed Family Homestead, go over there and check them out. Show them some YouTube love. So, any closing comments, Amy?
No, just thank everybody. Thank you for coming here and seeing some of my craziness, sharing my crazy life here.
Yeah, please not.
What grades are they in? Are you homeschool, don't you?
Yeah, I homeschool.
So in addition to having 4 kids and gardening and all of that, you're also homeschooling. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When do you have you time? When do you have you time?
I missed that.
When do
I have me time? What's that? No, my me time is about if I can manage to get up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I grab a cup of coffee and I go out to the greenhouse, and that's where I kind of just get ready for the day and just kind of relax. And that's where I hang out a lot, is in the greenhouse. Here lately, it's been in the polytunnel because the polytunnel is new. And I have been like just loving being in there and continuing to grow. So
I have told my wife numerous times, because we have 3 kids. I don't have a soccer team like you, but I've told my wife before, I said the best time, if you're lacking me time, is beat everybody out of the bed. You beat everybody out of the bed, it's all you. So
Yep. Sometimes for me, that's 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning is 4 o'clock in the morning. Still you time.
Not intentionally, but it's quiet. There's nobody's up, nobody's around. I can just hear myself think, and sometimes that's scary, but sometimes that's needed. So
right, hear your own voice, because I can imagine with that many children and everybody running around the house, you forget what your voice sounds like.
Or that you're not saying, don't do that, stop doing that, what are you doing? You were not thinking. Some of my favorite phrases there.
What were you thinking? Here's kind of how you notice. I don't know if maybe everybody else hasn't noticed, but generally when we're on our lives, you'll hear from time to time, you'll hear the dogs bark, you'll hear an adult downstairs yelling or a kid yelling or something. So I went and got my hair cut on the way home today. Well, right beside the Great Clips is a Dunkin' Donuts. So I went into the Dunkin' Donuts and I got 3 of the cutest little sparkly donuts that I could find. And I had them put them in these boxes that has a little see-through hole on top. And I just brought them home and I didn't say anything to anybody. I just sat them on the kitchen counter. And it took, I knew that my grandson, Rick's middle child, would be the one to ask, hey, whose donuts are those? It took him about 5 minutes because he knew they were there and he was waiting for me to say something. I didn't say anything. I said, there's 3 donuts in there, and those will be given to the child that does not require me to talk to them while I'm on my live stream tonight. And you will notice that it is completely silent.
You didn't email me that little tidbit, Rick?
If you got a Dunkin' Donuts, well, that's, you know, it was funny growing. So when my kids were really, really, really young, Kid Family Farm, you're absolutely right. Listen to this one. So when Rick and his younger sister, there's 2.5 years between them. So they were, so when I got out of the military, I was in school. So I would go to work later in the morning. So I would get the kids ready every morning and I'd get them to school every morning. Well, Conrad Homestead, the donut bribe, you're absolutely right. And it's working like a charm. Paula Wells says bribery. No, it's conditioning. It's absolutely psychological conditioning. So my wife is one that will say, okay, she will negotiate with them, or she used to. She doesn't now. That's Lala. And I'm not a negotiator. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I expect to be the outcome. And if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen. And so it only took a few days of that first year that I had to get them ready for school, of having to, you know, go get your shoes on, go get this, go brush your teeth or whatever. So I told them one day, I said, if you get up, you get dressed, you get your teeth done, and you finish your breakfast, I will stop and I'm going to get you a donut. And I did that for about 3 or 4 days in a row. So I'm establishing the behavior. And then on that 5th day or so, I don't recall exactly, they did it expecting a donut, but I didn't go to the donut shop. And they asked, well, are we going to go get a donut? I said, not today. Well, why not? We did what we were supposed to. And so, are you sneezing so they can't hear? So on that 5th day, I didn't go get a donut. They said, well, we did everything we were supposed to. I said, all right, here's the new rules. You know what you got to do to get your donut. You know what you got to do to get your donut. And if you do that, you may or you may not get a donut. But if you ask me if you're going to get a donut, you will not get a donut. Mm-hmm. So every morning for that entire school year, they got up, they got dressed, did all their stuff, and they waited to see if they were going to go get a donut.
Michael Harris. Patrick does not need any more fans. He has enough fans already. My buddy Patrick should get one just because. Yeah.
So that little piece of like operant conditioning works really, really well. They don't know when they're going to get the reward, but you get the desired behavior every single day. Inconsistent that's reinforcement. It works like a charm. So that was Michael Harris that just left that comment. So here, this was funny. I told you at the beginning that Michael Harris came and visited us over the weekend, spent all of Sunday with us. And so little Rick took him around, kind of showed him around the farm, and the entire walk all the way around the perimeter, Patrick held his hand and would not let him go the whole time. So he was enthralled by Michael. They had a blast. So that was fun. So, all right, awesome. Enough of my rambling. Well, Amy, we really, really appreciate you coming on. I hope you get a kick up in this from folks that have been watching. Again, if you have not gone over and checked out Amy's channel, please do so. Show her some support. Kind of help get those numbers boosted up a little bit. Any closing comments, Rick?
No, you guys did amazing. You have a beautiful family. So
thank you. And thank you for having me on tonight.
I know it's crazy. I know the crazy too. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you nor my wife do what you guys do. I mean, you guys are both phenomenal.
Don't think about it.
I don't think about it. She does. She does all the thinking
do it.
for me.
No, we don't. We don't think about it.
He called me. One more story because we just ramble. But one more story. So I'm on my way home from work today, and I have all this in my head. It's a lot of stuff to do, and so I'm on my way home, and Chelsea calls me, and she says, "Hey, I want to talk to you." So Rick Isaac needs money for something. Madeline needs money for something. I go to public school. Patrick peed in the potty 3 times at school and peed this morning. Madeline needs this for a friend, and I'm losing track of what I need to remember after like the second thing, and I wait for her to finish, and then I ask her, I'm like, all right. She's like, you're not listening to me, are you? I said, no, I'm listening. I've just lost track of everything that you need me to do. So out of all of those things you just shared, what do I need to remember? And she said, nothing. I got it.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
My hat is off to all the mamas out there that do this stuff with amazing grace. And so Amy, this has been a pleasure, and thank you so much. You guys did a great job. And with that, any closing comments or anything?
Nope.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
It. All right. Thank you. All right, Amy, take care. Good night. All right. So now you got my mug back. So we are booked up on this get to know him section through January 20th, kind of on deck for next week is a great channel. Kid Family Farm. Matt Kidd is going to be on next week, followed by December 30th, Lori's World. That'll be fun because I made Lori's appearance is contingent upon her and her wife, her and her mother coming on to the live stream at the same time. If you've never watched Lori's World, Lori is an absolute hoot, particularly when her and her mother are interacting. It doesn't matter what Lori's saying. She starts laughing, and it makes you start laughing. She has got the most infectious laugh that I've heard in a long time. I think that one's going to be a ton of fun. January 6th, we got Little Frenchie in Big Texas. That's it's a very new channel. That will be on 113. This is a couple that I've confirmed this week. So January 13th, we're going to have Micro Farmer on, and on January 20th, Castle Hive. So that will be a beekeeping channel. Will be coming on and talking about beekeeping.
I'm looking forward to all of them, but I really am looking forward to Castle Hives. So pick a beekeeper's brain.
So Eva said that they're funny, but so is the husband. You know, I haven't seen. I'm not familiar. I mean, I've seen Lori's husband, but I see Lori and her mother interacting a lot more in these videos, and it's very spontaneous, and you just never know what either one is going to say, and they are an absolute blast to watch. They're going to be on here. That'll be fun. So that's the lineup.
Email Paula was asking what the email address was. It is lala@thelalafarm.com.
Yeah. So, you know, to get on the session that Amy was just on is what we call the Get to Know Him segment. And we reserve that segment. So today it's about 45 minutes just for channels that are under 1,000 subscribers. So if you're under 1,000 subscribers and you would like to come on and kind of get some additional exposure, do an interview with us, we would love to have you. But you need to initiate that, and just shoot me an email at lala@thelalafarm.com, and we will try to get you arranged on a future. So at this point, we're filled up through the third week of January. So very simple. You don't need to download any software or anything. We will just shoot you a link that will allow you to come into the StreamYard studio. And generally speaking, within a couple of days of that live, we go onto your channel, kind of come up with questions. So there are no canned questions that we ask. We just kind of want it to be a natural dialogue, as natural as we can. So that's that. Again, if you're interested, shoot me an email and we will see about getting you on. Simply Jan Homestead. Jan, she says, Lori's mother's a hoot. I agree with you. And that, when I asked Lori to come on, I asked if it could be her and her mother. And she said, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to all of these. It'll all be, they're very unique in their own way. Each one is. By the way, Micro Farmer is going to be on January 13th. I don't know if Homer's in here. I don't recall seeing him in here tonight. He may have been. He did the La La Farm Papa. I was the first on the platform. Can I be in the 100th episode? That'd be a good idea, John. Yeah. That's a cool idea. We got a long way to go to 100 episodes, though. So we only do this once a week, so that's only 48 a year. So sometime in 2022. Micro Farmer did a video today, a really short video. It's only 8 minutes or so. But the gist of it is working together as a homesteading self-sufficiency community. That although different homesteads are independent, that really great results and great things could come from networking and building within that community by helping out each other. So I thought it's just a really good, short, little thought-provoking piece that Micro Farmer put out today. I enjoyed it. John says, "LOL, I'll be dead." You won't be dead, brother. You're a tough cookie. So check out that video for Micro Farmer today. I enjoyed that. So, Rick, anything to discuss about tech stuff?
Yes. Well, I'm talking about tech stuff. Let's give away a Amazon gift card or a shirt.
Yeah. So, whichever one you want, it doesn't matter to me. Normally people are requesting the shirt when they win one of these. But last week we gave away a Amazon gift card. It's the first one, so I had to figure out how to do that. So as you know, I get all of our questions from past videos that we have put out. Some of them are recent videos. Some of them are more distant or remote videos. So here's the question. On La La Farm, how do I get chickens to lay eggs where I want them to lay?
That's the question. So I had mentioned last week during our Thursday live on how to come up with a thumbnail or how to build a thumbnail and make it to where it more or less pops in either a vertical or a horizontal view, looking either on a phone or on a desktop. This week, there's a lot of people that have been getting with me and Papa, asking me to help them out with a thumbnail, or not a thumbnail, but a logo, excuse me. So whether it's a Facebook logo, whether it's a YouTube logo,
hold on, Rick. Boots and Bonnets with Christy, you are the winner. Put golf balls in there. Finish.
There you go. So whether it is a Facebook or a YouTube or an Instagram logo, I'm going to go. There's been a lot of people that have said that even on their phone, they can tell that our logo is the La La Farm logo. And I'm going to just show you how to, if you want to go ahead and follow along with the two programs that I put out there 2 weeks ago, either GIMP or Photoshop, kind of walk you through how YouTube can also have a unique thumbnail or a unique logo that will be visually appealing, and you can kind of pull it out of the crowd so you stand out.
There you go. I just put a comment up so you can point that out.
The what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look down at our comment, and besides all of the special colors and stuff, because it's our channel, but if you just look at the Lala Farm logo, you can see how it's the Lala Farm is really big. So, and noticeable. So, like I said, I will not be doing it tomorrow. Voon, I know you're upset about this, but I will be doing it Sunday. It'll be at 7. That's just to kind of break up our week a little bit. The Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday YouTube uploads and live streams were just too much. So I'm going to end up doing it on Sunday at 7 o'clock. And I'm assuming that this week is going to be, it'll probably end up being longer. But what I have to talk about can be addressed pretty quickly. So another thing I'll do is, if you want me to go ahead and kind of look at your thumbnail while we're in there, just get in there early, and I can talk about yours. And if I can come up with a quick suggestion for you, I'll let you know what it is, and then maybe during the live stream we can discuss it. So
yeah, when we first started, we had on the little thumbnail for when you're in chat, we just had our regular, the older style logo that's on the traditional shirts, and you really couldn't, it didn't stand out at all. Huh?
Said I don't have one to show.
Yeah, it didn't stand out at all. So what I asked Rick to do is to see if he could scale down the logo and then make it more visible.
I got it.
And then a couple of weeks back, Roland from Getting It Done North of 7 commented that, it stands out like a sore thumb. Well, that was just kind of affirmation for exactly what we were going for by changing that thumbnail up a little bit. So that was good feedback, Roland. So thank you.
There it goes. All right. So there's the logo that we were using. And it's still our original logo. It's kind of sort of getting it's still there. It's still on our egg cartons and stuff like that we sell here locally, but it's kind of getting phased out for this much easier, if I can get this closed, for this right here. So it's just much easier to read, and like Roland, or like Papa had said, Roland saying that it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So
yeah, because when you scale the original logo down, it just kind of just looks like a mishmash.
Looks like lines.
This is very distinct. So when you're in a chat or you're doing anything, it sticks out. It's very vivid inside of the chat. So, all right, going back to my question, Boots and Bonnets with Chris and Christy, they won with the answer golf balls, but these are funny. So in response to my question, put feed in that spot. That was rolling. Well, John at Will It Grow, you yell at them. John, I'm going to tell you that yelling at your chickens don't work.
They don't even look at you weird.
Yeah, they don't work.
At you weird. They don't care.
My rooster will stare me down. Paragon Ridge Ranch says, tell them. Put eggs in certain boxes. Boots and Bonnets said, put golf balls in there. Twin Brook Acres, you guys get the best answer, says tie their little legs together. Oh goodness, very creative. Micro Farmer, I threatened mine. Who wants to be chicken dinner this week? So, I did a video on using golf balls to manipulate where your chickens lay, and I did it over a 1 month period, and I was able, depending on where I put the most golf balls, you were able to see the egg production shift to certain boxes, left to right, up to down. Wherever I put more golf balls is where they would put their eggs. So that's just a really quick trick. When I first started keeping chickens, I learned of that trick, and I went out and I got, I went to Tractor Supply and I got some ceramic eggs. And I'm not going to tell you what I paid for those ceramic eggs, but it was way, way, way too much. And one day I was looking, my grandson was out hitting some golf balls trying to hit some golf balls out by the barn, and he almost hit me with one. So I pick it up and I look at it. I'm like, I wonder. And so I had tons of golf balls, and I just started putting them in the nesting boxes, and they work like a champ. every once in a while you'll find the chickens, they will kick one out of the nest and you'll find it down on the floor, kind of like, I guess, rejecting a bad egg. So they can tell, but it works. It works like a champ. Conrad Homestead says, by thumbnail, do you mean logo, or are you interchanging the two?
What?
Conrad Homestead.
By thumbnail, you mean logo? Are you interchanging the two? No. Thumbnail. We went over thumbnail last week. Kind of creating a template of sorts to do templates a little bit quicker, kind of increasing your making your workflow quicker. So making a thumbnail doesn't necessarily take you an hour. It could take you like 5 minutes to make a really good quality thumbnail that's going to stick out. The logo is what I will be touching on this Sunday at 7. And kind of helping go through how to, because there are some very close similarities as far as really what you want to do on your thumbnail and your logo. But logo or with a thumbnail, it's very specific as far as the size and really how to make it pop. So
yeah, so you kind of stand out amongst all of the other comments in there. So Jan said, had a great time showing off your t-shirt at Tractor Supply. Well, I talked about that right at the beginning, Jan. So, and I love the little chicken dance, and actually Lala cracked up when she watched that. So she got a good chuckle out of that. Conrad Homestead, hard-boiled golf ball sounds really good right now. Well, I'm not getting hardly anything right now. We got about 60 total chickens out in our back coop, and we're getting 7 eggs is what we got yesterday. So we increased their food up to a 22% grower ration. So that's probably going to make some difference. But, I track it every year, and this is what happens this time every single year. They should start picking up back again around mid-February is when they'll start kicking in. Fortunately, that doesn't work well with our chickens. This is Hickory Croft Farm. People who used to live here have golf balls everywhere. All right, that suggestion doesn't work for you. So I would imagine you don't free range because you'd have eggs everywhere. That's funny. Lala, you just solved a mystery for me. I was finding an egg on the floor this morning, and I was asking who was laying on the floor, but no, maybe she's pushing. That's what I've seen. If they will reject eggs, if they know that it's a bad egg, they will kick it out of the nest. I've seen that many, many, many times, but particularly golf balls, because they know that they're not natural. It doesn't happen all the time, but they will kick it out. All right, so I want to close this up on Boots and Bonds with Chris and Christy. I will shoot you an email. And what I need you to do, Rick, will you put the link up to the merch store? If you can go onto the merch store, look at the designs, the colors, and the sizes, and then respond to the email that I'm going to send you. I send you that email from me because I don't want other people contacting me saying they won and it be a fake email. Tim at Ridge Life had that problem. Surprisingly, I didn't think that was a thing, but he's had that happen on his channel. So I will be contacting you, and then you put in the shirt design, or if you want the Amazon gift card, tell me that as well. So either one will be fine. And then
the link is the link will be, we can put the link in the description below the video or link in the description of the live stream. It's also in the live chat right now, and you can also just type in the URL in the bottom on the scrolling banner at the bottom. And if you didn't by chance win the giveaway tonight, you can always go to Teespring and order your own shirt. That's always an option too. Or you can win another one by coming back next week.
My Alabama Farm Life says my hens are still young, but getting 6-7 today, and that's completely normal for a first year hen. The production out of those younger hens is much higher than in their second and subsequent years, and our average age for our hens is about 2 years old. So you know, it'll pick up, but we see the same dip every single year. So on closing, next, we got some pretty cool videos coming up over the next couple of weeks. So Rick's finishing up one right now. We kind of do a 6-month review on our buck barn, some things that we would have changed about it. So that's, you know, a pretty short one. We've got some others I'm going to be doing. We've got a huge rat problem. We've talked about that in the cat video from several weeks ago, but we've got a product that we're going to trial, do a product review on that. Some of the ones that I've built that are bucket types of traps that, you know, look like they were, again, these are YouTube models. One of them was a bucket trap, a 5-gallon bucket. Went out this morning to see if I had caught anything, and I kid you not, there's a hole chewed in the side of the bucket about 5 inches round, that they just, instead of trying to go through the top, they just chewed a hole in the bottom. So we've tried glue strips. We have tried rat traps, mouse traps. We've tried, you know, this is an interesting one from a professional exterminator. He says, and I know it's working because I've found a couple, but not the way I don't know that I don't see many of the carcasses. If it is he says the simple solution that he uses as an exterminator, and it's in an enclosed area where other animals or anything can't get to it. So I've been putting it up into the actual top side of the coop where nothing can get to it, is we take about a cup, not even a cup, more like probably a third of a cup, basically one handful, and I stick it into a plastic container, and then I take an equal amount of quick setting concrete, and then I mix that up. And the theory is that once they eat that mix, it petrifies them because they're eating that fast setting concrete, and once it hits the moisture within their system, it just it kills them. So
Paula was asking about the cats. The cats aren't helping ? So the cats are still, we really do not want to release these cats out into the wild, more or less, at the farm. Because we got them with the sole purpose of them being working cats and going out there and catching mice and catching rats and rodents. But they're still too small as of right now to go out on their own, because they might be able to catch a rat and they might be able to catch a mouse without getting hurt. But the birds, the eyes in the sky, they'll be picked up with a quickness if we.
They're still relatively small. So we're training them. Lala's taking them next week. 3 of them are getting fixed. One of them is not. One of the females we're not getting fixed. At least we're going to allow her to have one set of kittens. Where the father comes from, we're not sure. But we're not going to fix her. We want 1 litter of kittens, then we're getting all of them fixed. We want 1 litter raised on the farm. Somebody
Highland Homestead says the rats are probably bigger than the cats.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're not, they will help, but down the road. Somebody asked a question. Lala, you supposed to micro farmer? No, it's just a dry mix. That's why I can't just sit it outside. I put it up in the brooder part and then leave the door open slightly so they can get in there, but the chickens or nothing else can get in there. It's just a mix of dry feed and dry quick set concrete is what it is. And I put it out there at nighttime, and by the next night when I go out there, it is licked clean except for the large pebbles because they can't eat them. So we've got a lot of rats up in that area, and they're burrowing up underneath the chicken coop. So that's the same question Twin Brook Acres had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this new trap that we got called a Good Nature trap. It basically works on a CO2 cartridge, and it plugs them in the head. So we're going to try that, but I'm also going to do a side-by-side comparison with that trap with another design. It's another 5-gallon design that I watched on a channel, 2.5 Acres. And it's basically, and what it's called on YouTube is a lumber roll design. Basically has a bar that has a piece of PVC on top of that roll. So when the rat walks on it, it turns, and there's a piece of peanut butter on the far side. I'm going to have to adapt the design that he did and put a piece of 1/2-inch chicken wire around it so the chickens can't get into it. So I'm going to trial those two side by side and see which one catches more mice. So that's what we got. Says, can the chickens eat the dead rats? That would be pretty satisfying. So yes, they would eat the dead rats. If you free range your chickens are pretty ruthless when it comes to eating things. They are carnivores from the get-go. I mean, we give them a grain diet, but in the summertime in particular, a lot of their feed comes from what they forage. So a lot of insects, a lot of grubs, which are protein sources they pull right from the soil. But to tell you how carnivorous chickens are. So all of ours are free range. We had in that same coop, this has probably been 4 months or so ago, I opened up one of the rollaway boxes that are built into our front coop. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the farm tour video, but it's the very first coop that's up by the house. I opened up one of the side boxes that has the rollaway, where I built the rollaway into it. And when I opened it, I noticed that there's this gigantic, they had taken a lot of the straw from inside of the coop, and it was now kind of pushed into one of these boxes. So I'm like, I knew that there had to be a rat in there. So I went and I grabbed a shovel from underneath the storage area, and I stuck it in there and pried it out. But when I pulled that rat nest out of the coop, it came out and landed on the floor. Well, lo and behold, in that nest was about a dozen little baby rats that their eyes were not even open. So they had been born in just the previous few days before that. Well, at the time that I pulled this out, there was probably 7 or 8 chickens, including the gang of 4, those Australorps that I did another video about. They came in on those little squirming baby rats. They were eating them whole. And it was kind of weird because you could see them moving as they went down their throat. It was pretty weird, but it shows you they look like little velociraptors. Chickens are ruthless. They will eat meat, particularly if they can find live little animals like that. Highland Homestead, put some feed in a bucket of water 3/4 full, and they will go in and drown. Kid friendly for chicken food. Well, it was. I mean, I was kind of shocked. I'm glad none of the kids were out here, because they would have been probably a little bit horrified watching these little baby rats get devoured in one bite by these adult chickens. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they were tearing them apart.
Right. So gross. So interesting. I might have to give mine a steak and see what happens. Great time. So we're going to go ahead and close this out, but look forward to those videos. We got some other ideas. We still have not done my Ride 2020 collaboration video. I tried it, but the audio did not come out on that, so we got to redo that one. So this is fantastic. We had a great time tonight. Again, Amy with Crazed Family Homestead, she did a great job. We loved having her on here. We still got 18 people in here, and 19 people, got up to 30 tonight. So everybody, thanks for visiting with us tonight. Thanks for attending. I hope you were entertained as much as we enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed as much as we enjoyed doing this. And we will talk at you next week. Always remember, treat others as you would like to be treated. Good night.